Hi, I'm Revati. I'm a program manager in Hyderabad. So in terms of academic gains, Varun's classroom had made one of the highest growth in my PM group. He had, by mid-year, he had made 0.7 years of growth. I'm not sure about the correct number, but about 5 to 8 of his children have cleared the National Math Olympiad. Like I think one thing about Varun that really stands out to me is just his high expectations for his children, right? I think he's never been limited by the mid-year, end-of-year assessments. He's never been limited by the student vision scale. He's always been like, my children have done really well on the assessments. Let me think about what more can I give them. And that's how he got his children enrolled in the National Math Olympiad, National Science Olympiad, he's doing books with his children in English because he feels like the end of year assessments do not push his children much. So when I think about Varun's proudest moment, there's only one thing that comes to my mind immediately, which is Habib's story. So Habib was a child in Varun's classroom who all teachers had given up on. Before Varun came into the classroom, she had been called a lot of names. She'd been called retarded. Her mother had been called to the school and asked her, and her mother had been asked by the principal to take the child away from school because the child just wasn't learning. This was a child in 4th grade who didn't know the alphabet, who didn't know numbers, who couldn't hold a conversation in English. And I think when Varun came into the classroom, this was something that distressed him. This was something that he really wanted to work upon, because I think Varun strongly believes in not leaving any child behind. He got in touch with Elizabeth Bogart, who was a PM in Chennai, who had worked with special children in America. And both of them set up many Skype calls together, where he gave her Habib's case history about what she's able to do, what the doctors have said about her. She went through all of that. She came back to him with a training plan, and every day he would implement the training plan and get back to her. He would send her videos, he would send her pictures, and just get a lot of feedback. He worked on Habib for about like 8 to 10 months. More than that, actually. He's worked on her for almost a year now. Habib, who started at a pre-emergent level and who'd been at that level for about almost 10 years now, not being able to read the alphabet. She can confidently hold a conversation in English. She can solve a 0.2 level paper now. Varun has set really small goals for her, and she really looks forward to meet those goals. She can do pictorial and visual mathematics as well as any other child in his classroom. And I think the proudest moment for Varun was when I walked into the classroom once, and usually whenever I've had a conversation with Habib, she's always responded in Hindi. That was one time when the entire conversation, she spoke to me only in English. And there was a time when I started speaking in Hindi, and she said, Didi, we are only supposed to speak in English in this classroom. And I think that was fantastic. And also when Habib cleared the 0.2 level paper, I think that's what I consider as one of Varun's biggest successes, because I think it's really easy to push children who are already at a good level. I think the amount of investment, time and love that and belief that Varun has in Habib, like that for me really stands out here. The systems and structures that Varun has created in his classroom are such that the students are, yes, they started off by being very dependent on Varun, but right now they're at a place where they are dependent on each other. His groups are such that they push each other's learning. Something that I have always told my fellows is that even if you were to step out of your classroom for like an hour, would your classroom be great without you? So I think I can confidently say that for Varun. Like even if he steps out of the classroom for an hour, his children are constantly pushing each other, pushing each other's learning, teaching each other, and driving their own learning. He immensely loves his children, and because of that, he holds his children to really high expectations. I think I'm just going to tell you what a day in Varun's life looks like, and that will probably tell you like how much he wants to put his children on a different life path. Varun stays 22 kilometers away from school, and he takes the train every day to school. His school starts at 9 o'clock, but he leaves home at 6 o'clock, which means he gets to school by around 7:15. From 7:30 to 8:30, actually takes extra classes for his lower order children. Then he's there in school from about 9 to 3. From 3:30 to around 5:30, he takes Olympiad classes for his higher order children. sometimes during post 5:30 and 6 o'clock, he goes, does community visits, he talks to parents, he invests parents, and then by the time he reaches back home, it's almost 9 o'clock. Like, I'd say Varun has a very, very ambitious vision for his children, and he will not let anything get in his way to reach that.